All right, we're going to start seated. I recommend sitting up onto a bolster. Um, a couple blocks might be handy for practice. All right, so here we are on our seat. Let your hands rest onto the knees, let the eyes close. Find yourself coming into your breath. And taking an opportunity to become more connected and grounded in this moment and in the body. And we're just going to begin to count the breaths. So we'll do the 4-count breath, which is an inhale for 4, holding the breath for 4, exhaling the breath for 4, and holding the breath out for 4. And I'll count us through the first few rounds. Let's exhale our breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, exhale. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 3, 4, exhale. 3, 4, and hold. 3, 4, inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. Inhale and hold. Exhale and hold. Continue on your own, counting to yourself. And now take the edges off of it. Continue to breathe deeply in and out. You can let the count go. And rather than counting through the pauses, just become aware of the pauses. Let everything really begin to slow down. Now, if you're on a surface, you might come off the surface sitting on the floor. But still breathing in this way, we're going to bring a seated cat-cow in with the breath. So wherever you are with your breath, on your inhale, using that slow breath count, heart comes forward and chin lifts. There's a pause. And then as you exhale, chin to chest, send your heart to the back wall behind you, maybe even shift onto the back side of your sitting bones. Inhaling, heart forward, chin lifting. Exhaling, undulate the spine back, press the spine to the back wall. So there are pauses here. So this is a slow movement. And try to bring as much of your awareness as you can into the spinal column. Noticing how the spine feels. Seeing if you can feel the pelvis tilting forward first and the rest of the body following the pelvis along. We'll take one more exhale. And with your inhale, come back to center. Right hand reaches across to the left knee. And just take a very simple twist here. So not pulling too hard, making this much more about the breath. As you turn to look back over the left shoulder, let your chin drop down. And still aware of the pauses in the breath. Cultivating a quality of generosity, of timelessness with the breath. And as we enter into that timeless feeling, it's as if we have all the time in the world. So we're free to just really be with what's happening now, enjoying it thoroughly. With your next exhale, the torso comes back to center, and we'll just twist to the other side, nice and simple. I want to keep the shoulders over the hips, so not leaning back at all. And noticing when you add the twist in, what that does to the breath. What challenges it presents to the fullness of your breath. What awakening is there? Good. Inhale, back to center. Reaching the right hand out to the side. Inhale the left arm up. We're not going to go too far over to the side. Just pause here. This isn't our deepest. And as we pause here, make this left hip really heavy down into the floor. Press your left shoulder blade behind you and just breathe gently into the side body. We're going to keep this left arm lifted. Come back up to center. Bring your right arm up to meet it. Interlace the fingers, all but the index finger. Index finger stays pointed. Drop the chin to the chest. Imagine that your hands are coming straight up and a little bit behind the head, and then twist, or not twist, but just revolve to trace a circle on the ceiling. Breathe deeply here. Feel the stretch and opening and release through the rib cage. Opening through the shoulders. Go in the other direction, so tracing that circle around. And as we come back to center now, the left hand drops down, right arm will stay up. And again, we're not coming into our deepest expression here, but just rooting right hip to earth, reaching firmly through right fingertips, breathing into the right side body, and keeping your left shoulder away from the ear. Try not to let it slouch up, but left shoulder nice and heavy. Breathing here. Last breath in. Good. Come back up to center. Right arm stays up again. Left arm comes up to meet it. This time, hands interlace. Press the palms up to the sky. And drop the chin to the chest. Try to flatten the hands to the ceiling. Feel that awaken through the wrists, the forearms, the shoulders, the upper arms. Breathing to broaden through the chest. Good. Hands release. Right hand comes down. Left arm stays up. And now coming nice and deep again. So maybe we can get the forearm down to the floor. You don't need to by any means, but if you can get it down, try that. Really reach those left fingertips. Revolve the heart open to the sky. Really deep into side body. Let your head hang down. Last breath in. Good. Now your hand is going to come forward. It's just going to come around forward and down to the side here. Let your right ear drop towards the floor. Press your left shoulder away from the ear and then play around with the angle of the chin. You should feel this right where the neck and that upper shoulder are meeting. Get kind of creative with it. Move your hand, move your chin in any way that feels good as you feel that tension at the top of the shoulder and base of the neck releasing. Good. Use your bottom hand, the right hand on the floor. Press yourself up to center. Fingertips lightly touch. Take a breath. Good. We'll lean off to the left side. Right forearm to the floor maybe. Right arm reaching firm. Heart revolving up to the sky. Head relaxed. Breathe into right side body. Nice deeper opening here. Really feeling the inhale, stretching the spaces between the rib bones. Good. And your hand now will stay straight. Arm rotates forward and out to the side. Head super heavy. Pressing down through that right palm, reaching right shoulder away from the neck, and then rotate the chin down towards the shoulder or up towards the sky, in towards the throat or away. Maybe moving your hand if you need to as well. Feeling into that tightness there. Last breath. Good. And using your bottom hand, coming up to center. All right. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hands interlace around the toes. Sit up nice and tall and just begin to flutter your butterfly wings here. Warming the hips gently, staying nice and tall, and then let one knee and then the other lift and relax. Okay, coming back to center. Hands stay on the feet here. Take a breath in the middle, and then we'll exhale. Just roll the whole torso down and around and up the other side. Notice the lower back as you move the torso around the pelvis. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Just let it feel good. Switch sides though. So inhale up the other side and exhale down. Inhaling up and down. We'll do one more. Good. As you come to center here, reaffirm that your hands are nice and firmly interlaced. Lift the heart, send the belly button away from the pubic bone, and come into a forward fold. So we are not very warm. We're moving gently and sweetly into this body, breathing and honoring any limitations. Let your conscious awareness be completely saturated in what you're feeling in the body. Purposefully breathe into that sensation. Be with yourself. Meet yourself where you are. We're not trying to force anything or make anything happen. It's more about surrendering to the force of gravity and watching what happens as we do so. Excellent. Use your hands, palms down on the floor, head heavy, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Chin stays tucked until the last. At the top, head unwinds. Just take a breath. Bring your hands behind you onto the mat. Take your feet wide. We'll windshield wiper the legs side to side. And as we do, this isn't a mindless transition. It's a very purposeful transition. So feel what's happening in the hips as you move your legs from side to side like this. Come back to center. Left leg extends straight out in front. Step your right foot to the outside of that knee. Hands interlace around the right knee, and you're going to press this whole thigh bone deeper into the hip and then lift the chest up out of that. You should feel a nice compression in the hip flexor. Good. Making this into a twist. Left arm wraps around the knee, right hand comes behind. Gentle twist here, a little deeper than we went before. More leverage with the arms here. Our body's a little warmer, but still take it easy. Feel the fullness of your breath in the twist. As you come back to center, straight leg is going to bend in. So straight leg is bent in. If you need to, sit onto a block to make this happen for you. You'll know you'll need to if you can't quite get your right hip onto the floor. And we're either going to stay here in this position or see if you can stack your right knee on top of the left and go Mukhasana. So it's a little bit more depth for the hips. And we're going to lean. We're going to lean to the right. I had to feel it in my body to see which way we go. Leaning out to the right. Again, left arm will lift. So we did this earlier, and you may choose this level 1 variation. This may be plenty of awakening through this left hip and left side body. If you can get your forearm down to the floor, you can take that variation. Again, the head is relaxed and heavy. We're revolving the heart open, and we're breathing into the side body. Letting yourself be with what is here. Good. Sweep that hand forward just like we did before, but we'll just come right back up to center. Release the legs. Windshield wiper them again. Notice the difference side to side. All right. Right leg rather, comes straight out in front now. Stepping your left foot to the outside of the knee. We start first by interlacing hands around the knee, drawing this whole thigh deep into the hip socket using our arm strength, and then sitting up out of that. Feeling ourselves awakened, feeling that nice therapeutic compression in the hip flexor, deep in the hip socket, and then right arm wraps around, and we'll take the twist. A little bit deeper in our twist. Breathe fully here. And with your exhale, coming back to center. All right, straight leg bends in. So bring that right foot to the outside of the hip if you need to. Sit up onto a block. If you need to, keep your legs in this position. If you're able to, bring the knees one on top of the other. Cow face pose, Gomukhasana. All right. Leaning out to the left side, right arm comes up. You may stay here. This might be lovely for you and plenty. And if you want to come down with forearm onto the floor, you can. It's all about breath here. How can you awaken and expand through the right hip, through the right side body? And let your hand come forward and down. It's going to kind of pull you back up to center. Release the legs and windshield wiper. Now putting it all together back into bound angle pose. Heels close in to the groin. Right hand is going to wrap around the toes here. We're going to lean to the right. So you might just use your arm onto your calf, or if you need more support, maybe arm to the side here, straight. So if you need that support of your arm, make sure that you take that. If you can bring your forearm down to the floor in front of the shin, that's great. Left arm is going to come up, and here we are in a bound angle with this beautiful lateral opening, this side bend. Feel into the lower back. So good. Try to keep that left sitting bone really heavy onto the mat, and just breathe into the space you're creating between your lower ribs and your hips, the top of the hip. Good. Hand sweeps forward and down. And if you need that, use your left hand to kind of grab the knee and pull yourself back up. Honor any sense of vulnerability in the lower back or that need to move slowly. And we'll grab the left hand around the toes. Same thing, maybe using your left hand rather to support you out to the side. And send your right arm up as we take this bound angle, deep hip opener, with a wonderful opportunity to lift the whole rib cage up out of the pelvis. stretching all that tight fascia and muscle that binds the ribs to the lower part of the body and keeps the spine supported. Breathing into all of that. Good, last breath. Let your hand come forward and down and around. Again, if you need to, grab that right knee and use your arm to pull you up to center. Just like we have our feet touched, let's bring our hands together at the heart and close the eyes. Feeling the steadiness of your breath here in this bound angle, hands to the heart position.